Breaking now at noon, a construction worker in Woodland airlifted to the hospital after a piece of construction equipment fell on them while they were in a trench. We have the latest. Plus, we are learning more about the asylum seeker detained by ICE outside a Portland courtroom. Protesters calling for their release. And later, what led to a grandfather disarming a DoorDash driver when she showed up at his door. Your news at noon starts right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm China Green. We start this afternoon with breaking news. Emergency crews in Woodland, Washington told us that they rescued a worker this morning after a piece of construction. They rescued the worker after a piece of construction equipment fell on them while they were working in a trench. Now, these are some pictures from the scene. Rescue teams responded around 8:30 to the intersection of SR 503 and Enzo Road. The battalion chief for Clark Cowlitz Fire and Rescue just gave an update moments ago. He says that the injured worker was flown to Peace Health Southwest with life-threatening injuries. Crews were able to stabilize him at the bottom of the 15-foot trench before bringing him out. We don't know the identity of the person injured, and we will update you when we learn more. A search for 3 missing sisters in central Washington takes a tragic turn. Local police say the sisters, all under the age of 10, have been found dead. Their father is now wanted for 3 counts of first-degree murder and kidnapping. 9-year-old Peyton, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia right there were last seen Friday evening in Wenatchee. Their mother reported them missing after they didn't return from a planned visitation with their dad, 32-year-old Travis Decker. Right now, authorities are searching for Decker. Here are some photos of him. Police say that he is a former member of the military with extensive training. They don't know whether he is armed, but say he may pose a significant risk if approached. Police are asking anyone with information who may have seen him or knows where his current whereabouts are to not approach him or contact him, but to call 911. ICE agents detained a 24-year-old asylum seeker from Mexico outside a Portland courtroom on Monday, and lawyers tell us that they haven't seen this before in the Rose City. Today, protesters outside the federal courthouse called for the person's release. The 24-year-old is transgender and is represented by attorneys at Innovation Law Lab. The attorneys say their client fled Mexico in September 2023 after suffering violence from a cartel due to their gender identity and sexual orientation. After attending the asylum hearing Monday, where, according to attorneys, ICE lawyers sought to dismiss the case, when they left the courtroom, ICE agents arrested the asylum seeker.
She complied with all the rules here. She applied for asylum. She attended her court date as required by the government. And then ICE is engaging in this unethical tactic to trick people, basically, who are following all the rules of their asylum case and close their cases in order to detain them and put them in a rapid deportation process called expedited removal.
Federal officials have so far declined to comment about the courthouse arrest. A Trump administration policy directs and enables ICE agents to detain immigrants at courthouses. We are learning more about the suspect accused of stabbing 12 people at a man's shelter in Salem on Sunday night. 42-year-old Tony Williams is now charged with attempted murder and 11 counts of assault. Police say Williams is from Bend and he was traveling by bus from Portland to Deschutes County when he got off the bus in Salem. They say Williams pulled out a knife during a bag check at the shelter. Then police say he stabbed 12 people, 2 staff members and 10 shelter guests. Williams appeared in Marion County Court yesterday, refuting the charges filed against him.
All these charges are self-defense charges that they had me boxed in.
I don't want you to talk
Listen,
about
no,
that.
everybody knows.
5 people who are injured are still in the hospital. Williams is scheduled to appear in court again next Monday. All right, headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at weather.
And we have a beautiful day. Hope you're enjoying it. Today is a lot like yesterday. We do have some changes coming tomorrow. We'll get to that more in my complete forecast. But in the time being, Mr. Big High Pressure is sitting offshore. It's keeping us dry, cloudiness for the most part staying up to our north. Whatever clouds we've had in the sky today have been kind of mid to high level stuff just kind of drifting overhead. I am watching the wind. Remember the last couple days? We had nice quiet mornings and the wind picked up in the afternoon. And here's what's going on right now gust-wise. North winds in Newport to 25. The Dalles was reporting some gusts to about 30 plus. So you folks are getting some wind. There's Baker City northwest at 33 miles per hour. So again, generally speaking, it's going to be a northwest breeze picking up this afternoon. Maybe not becoming what you would call windy where you are, but I think the winds definitely become noticeable. A lot of us will be in that 15 to 25 mile per hour category. Had some clouds in Lincoln City. City earlier this morning, but now from our Snook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City, it's sunny, and the same thing, it's been sunny all day in Salem, but it's sunny all day here in the Rose City. Our lunchtime temperature, 66 degrees. Yesterday, we were in the mid-70s, and today, I have us right back up to 76 degrees. Should be a nice evening for you, 72. Now, when you wake up tomorrow morning, completely different weather, at least for one day. That's coming up on my complete forecast. China?
Rod, thank you. Rose Festival's Fleet Week returns this week. Ships from the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and Royal Canadian Navy will all dock along the downtown Portland waterfront. U.S. Navy ships are open for public tours Thursday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The ships will start arriving later today, and that means a lot of bridge lifts. Chris McGinnis has the details.
Fleet Week, of course, means bridge lifts, frequent long bridge lifts of the Broadway, the Steel and the Burnside bridges. And again, these bridge lifts could last upwards of 45 minutes. The time to avoid those areas Tuesday from 3 to 6 p.m. and Wednesday from 4 to 8 p.m. If you want to avoid that kind of congestion, probably plan on using the Fremont Bridge instead, but know that that will put extra cars on the Fremont Bridge. In case you're wondering how impactful these bridge lifts are, the average daily traffic over those three Multnomah County bridges is on the order of about 80,000 cars and trucks a day. Of course, TriMet's MAX service and bus service goes over the Steel Bridge as well. So there will be delays during those times of bridge lifts.
And a note for bikers and pedestrians, Steel Bridge Lowers Deck will be closed today and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 5 or until the last ship arrives for the day. The city of Portland is planning to remove 3 blocks from a street plaza on Northwest 13th Avenue in the Pearl District. PBOT says removal follows 2 years of repeated complaints from the public and continued permit violations by the businesses. They say oversized enclosed dining structures are blocking emergency access and public use. And despite multiple warnings and extensions that gave the businesses time to make changes, nothing has been done. Some local businesses say that they're not happy with the plan.
It really hurts us in the summertime. We have a lot of people that love to be out on the patio without the roof that we had. You know, we're going to have less shade out there, which is going to make it less desirable for anybody visiting for lunchtime.
PBOT says the 3 businesses in the area will be fined $500 a day until the structures are removed. Only 1 block of the 4-block plaza will remain fully open to pedestrians. In Vancouver, a grandfather recounts the moment that he says he had to fight to protect his family. He told us now former DoorDash driver brought a gun to his home to confront him over a tip. KGW's Emma McCarty has the details.
A quiet morning in Vancouver interrupted.
This loud bang on the door, real loud, startled my daughter, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, you know, who the heck's pounding on the door?"
Anthony Volino explains it was the DoorDash delivery driver who'd come by the house the night before when his daughter ordered groceries.
It was a considerable amount. It was about $100 worth of food. The food was delivered to her. Apparently, she had to give a tip through the online system, which was deducted.
But the driver had apparently wanted a cash tip. And for a second, Volino thought about giving him one.
When he again said, "I want my tip," that's when I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." He leaned in like I didn't hear him. And that's when I put my hand up like a stop sign and I said, "Hey, hey, hey." And I said, "You need to leave now."
A scuffle ensued. And that's when Volino realized the man at their door had a gun in his waistband.
When I felt the steel, my heart just sank. My heart just sank. I was like, "Oh God, help me now." He tripped right here and he tripped up against my wife's car. And as he was on the ground, I came about right here and I leaned over and I cleared the handgun.
Vancouver police arrived soon after, identifying the suspect as Robert Delahant and arresting him. The spokesperson for DoorDash told KGW that the company has a zero-tolerance policy for harassment of any kind. What happened was unacceptable, and the dasher involved was immediately deactivated.
And my kids were in there. They were at the my grandkids were at the door. My daughter's outside screaming. If he would have drew that gun and missed me and shot one of my kids, it would have been devastating.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
The suspect faces felony harassment, DUI, and assault charges. Neither he nor Volino was injured in this incident. Tomorrow marks 1 year since Uber driver Josh Kelvin was shot and killed while working in Southeast Portland, and police still haven't made any arrests in this case. KGW's Ashley Grams talked to Josh's wife, who hasn't stopped searching for answers.
holding tightly to this piece of paper, this case number.
All it takes is 30 seconds and your life is completely turned upside down and crushed.
Kelly Kelvin believes someone knows something about the murder of her husband, Josh Kelvin. Constantly running through your mind.
Constantly. I mean, the day I got the call from the detective constantly runs through my mind.
1 year ago, Kelly first told us about the moment she learned her husband had been killed.
And he says, "I'm so sorry, but he was killed." I lost it. I screamed.
At the time, she asked for answers, for someone to come forward with information. And this year, that plea hasn't changed. No arrests have been made.
If it was your family, you'd want closure. We just need closure.
Portland police say Josh was shot and killed on June 4th, 2024, while working as an Uber driver in Southeast Portland.
He had 20,075 rides under his belt, and all it took was one.
He was driving a 17-year-old passenger who was also shot. The teenager survived, and police say he was eventually released from the hospital. As Kelly's family waits for answers, she's taken up a new fight.
This change needs to happen.
Advocating for stricter safety measures to protect rideshare drivers.
I can't let my grief and anger be put into a negative. I need to override the negativity in our world and make a positive difference. My husband worked 6 12-hour days.
Kelly testified before lawmakers in Salem, talked with Portland city councilors, and works with Portland's Drivers Advisory Committee. She's pushing for passenger verification and the end of third-party rides.
That's just a few things. I want to mandate video cameras inside the vehicles. I'm not going to go quiet. Another driver's family does not need to be in my position.
A widow who won't let her husband's life be forgotten.
And I hope whoever did it thinks about Josh every single day like I do. I hope he weighs heavy on their mind.
That was Ashley Graham's reporting. Portland police declined an interview about this case, but say the investigation is open and active. They say anyone who might know something about Josh's murder to give them a call.